oriented approach. We write the program in the form of functions. So C program, we are writing in the form of functions. You already know about it. For example, see here, I'm writing one C function to add two numbers. I'm defining one function here. To add two numbers, I'm defining this function. So in between that, what we write? We write some statements. We write some statements here. We write some statements. Okay. So here add is the function. This is the starting point of function. This is the ending point of function. In between that, we are writing some statements. Okay. So here, if you want to write, here we write return type. So this is add function. So like that, so subtract two numbers, I'm writing one function. This is starting point of function, ending point of function. In between that, we are writing some statements. So like this, we can write any number of functions. Finally, we define main function. From the main function, we call the functions here. So to add two numbers, just simply call add of 10 comma 20. Like this, we call. So we are writing code only for one time here. We are writing code only for one time. Okay, we are not writing code for many number of times. For example, I want to find factorial. So to find factorial of a number, just simply I call fact function for how many times? Okay, we are calling fact function here. So we are writing this code for how many times? One time only. So this is what? This is a code to find factorial of the number. This is the code to find factorial of the number. Maybe 10 lines code or 15 lines code may be there. So this code we are writing for how many times? One time only. This code we are writing for one time only. But we can use this code for any number of times. We can use this code for any number of times by calling. We can use this code by, for any number of times by calling. Okay, once again I'm calling here. Fact of 3, I'm calling. Okay, once again I'm calling. Fact of 2. Okay, once again I'm calling. Fact of 2, like this. So we are writing code for how many times? One time only. But we can use this code for any number of times. So here, what are the advantages with the procedure oriented approach? What are the advantages with the procedure oriented approach? The first advantage here is, what is the first drawback of sequential approach? Lack of understandability. This procedure oriented approach improves the understandability. It improves understandability. It improves understandability. Okay, then what is the second drawback of sequential approach? Increases length of code. So to perform the same task again and again, we are writing same code again and again. Whereas here, we're writing code only for one time. So automatically code length will be decreased. Code length will be decreased. Okay. So it decreases length of code. It decreases length of code. Decreases length of code. So procedure oriented approach improves the understandability and it decreases the length of code because we are writing code only for one time. We're not writing for many times. We are writing code only for one time, but we can use that code for any number of times. Okay, that is what reusability. Okay, it provides reusability. We can reuse that code for any number of times. Reusability. So in this example, we are writing this factorial code only for one time, but we can use this code for any number of times by calling. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are calling. So this fact function will be called now. It executes the code. Okay, again I'm calling fact function. Again that goes to this fact function and that executes this code. Again I'm calling fact function. Again that jumps to fact function and that executes this code. So this code we are writing for how many times? One time only. But how many times we are using? Many times we can use. So we're writing code only for one time, but we can use that code for any number of times. So we're writing code only for one time means it decreases length of code. Okay, so we can use that code any number of times means it is providing reusability. So and here we are writing the program in the form of parts. We are writing the code in the form of parts and each part we are calling as function. Each part we are calling as function. So this one is called a function. Okay, add is a function, fact is a function. Like that we are defining many functions here. Okay, so we are not writing sequentially here. We are writing the program in the form of parts. Each part I'm calling as function. So this function, in some languages, we call this function as module. In some languages, we call this as procedure. So that's why they have given name as procedure oriented, or you can say modular programming language, modular programming approach, procedure oriented approach, or function oriented approach. You can use the term function or module or procedure. So this is about procedure oriented approach. So C language follows procedure oriented approach. So writing program in the form of functions is one style. Writing the code sequentially is another style. Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Some members are waiting. Okay. I'm joining them. Okay. See here. Listen. So procedure oriented approach means we write program in the form of functions. Sequential approach means we write code sequentially. This writing sequentially is one style, writing in the form of functions is another style. If you write program in the form of functions, the advantage here is it improves understandability. We can understand the code easily. Okay. And it decreases length of code. Okay. And it provides reusability. These are the advantages. But this procedure oriented approach has also some drawbacks. So to avoid the drawbacks of sequential approach, they introduced this procedure oriented approach. This procedure oriented approach has also some drawbacks. What are those drawbacks? See here, disadvantages. This procedure oriented approach does not provide security. It does not provide security. It does not provide security for the data. In procedure oriented approach, data is public. There are no private keywords. So in the C++, we use private keyword to provide security, and we place the members in the class. There is no private keyword in the C language. So it does not provide security. Okay. And it provides less reusability. It provides less reusability. It provides less reusability. So less reusability is there in the procedure oriented approach because it does not support the inheritance concept. Okay. So there is no private keyword and there is no inheritance in the procedure oriented approach. Inheritance concept is not there. Inheritance concept main purpose is reusability, and does not provide security. Data is public in the C language. There is no private keyword. So these are the drawbacks of procedure oriented approach. Okay. I hope you understood. Okay. Sequential approach has drawbacks, less understandability is there, and it increases length of code. So to avoid the drawbacks of sequential approach, they introduced this. Please don't come late. Some members are coming late. Don't come late. Okay. So in the procedure oriented approach, we're writing code in the form of functions like this. So if you are writing code in the form of functions, advantages are it improves understandability, decreases length of code, and provides reusability. We are writing code only for one time, so automatically the decreases length of code. We are writing code only for one time, but we can use that code for any number of times by calling. And we are writing in the form of parts. Each part we are calling as function. So here we are adding two numbers. Here we are finding factorial. Like that, we can understand easily if we divide into parts. Okay, but disadvantages are also there for procedure oriented approach. Those are less security is there. Does not provide security because there is no class concept. There is no private keyword in the C language. And it provides very less reusability. Functions concept is there, but no inheritance concept is there. Okay, so these are the drawbacks with the procedure oriented approach. So to avoid these drawbacks, they introduced object oriented. Okay, later I talk about object based. First see about object oriented. object oriented approach. So what are the example languages? So object oriented program means we write program in the form of, we write program, we write program in the form of, we write program in the form of classes and objects. Okay, we write the program in the form of classes and objects. We write program in the form of classes and objects. Okay, so if you are not getting my voice, if you are not understanding, just type in the chat box. I'm viewing your messages. Okay, so you cannot send messages to each other. You cannot send messages to each other. Okay, so members are typing, but you cannot send. Just a minute. Okay, see here. Okay, Tejaswini. Yes, object-oriented approach. Object-oriented approach means we write the program in the form of classes and objects. So C++ language, in the C++, we write the program in the form of classes and objects. Okay, next Java program, we write in the form of classes and objects. Python program, we can write in the form of classes and objects. C# program, we can write the program in the form of classes and objects. Okay, so C++, Java, Python, C#, such type of languages are called object oriented programming languages. So these are the object oriented programming languages. These are the object oriented programming languages. Okay, so what is object oriented programming language? Listen carefully, I'm coming to subject. Listen carefully here. Object oriented programming language, object oriented programming language means if any language that supports to encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. If any language that supports to these four concepts, that language is called object oriented programming language. So C++ supports to all these four concepts. So C++ is the object oriented programming language. Java, Python, C#, they also support all these four concepts. So those are also object oriented programming languages. Object oriented programming language means that language must support encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Then only we can call that language as the object oriented programming language. Otherwise, you cannot say that as the object oriented programming language. Okay, so for all these four concepts, two common concepts are there. Those are class and object. Those are class and object. For these four concepts, two common concepts we use, those are class and object. So these are called OOPS concepts. You already know it. Okay, these are called OOPS concepts. These are called OOPS concepts. Okay, so if any language that supports to encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism, that is called object-oriented programming language. In these programming languages, we write program in the form of classes and objects. Now you may get it out. Then what about object-based? What about object-based? Object-based means, okay, here also we write program in the form of classes and objects only. Here also we write the program in the form of classes and objects only. Okay, but we cannot establish relationship between classes. So establishing relationship between classes is called what? Inheritance. So here we can establish relationship between classes. That is parent-child relationship. You are calling parent class, child class, base class or derived class, super class or subclass. In the second sem already you learned. So we can establish relationship between the classes. That is called inheritance. So it supports to inheritance here. Object oriented approach supports to inheritance, whereas object based means it supports to only two concepts. Those are encapsulation and abstraction. Only two concepts will be supported. Only two concepts will be supported. Okay, so remaining concepts will not be supported. Okay, so object based supports to encapsulation and abstraction, but object based does not support to the inheritance, and object based does not support to the polymorphism. So if any language that supports to encapsulation and abstraction, that is called object based. If any language that supports to encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism, if a language supports to these four concepts, that is called object oriented. Remember this. Okay, then what are the examples? What are the examples of this object based? Listen, once upon a time we were using VB language. Once upon a time we were using VB language. Like example is VB language. In the 1990s we were using VB language. VB stands for Visual Basic. VB stands for Visual Basic. Okay, so Visual Basic last version is 6.0. Later they didn't release any VB because VB has some drawbacks. Later, they merged this VB language into the .NET languages, VB.NET. That VB.NET is the object-oriented again. VB.NET is the language, okay? That is one .NET language. That is object-oriented again. So this VB language merged into the .NET languages. So VB is the object-based. This VB is the object-based, okay? So this is about programming approaches. It's about programming approaches. So these object-oriented approaches, this object-oriented approach provides security for the data because it has public private keyword, it has class concept, it has private keyword. So with that, it provides security. Okay, and it provides reusability because it supports to the inheritance. Inheritance. Okay, here object based, for object based security is there. Okay, security is there. This is the advantage. Okay, but no reusability is there. Okay, reusability is there. Disadvantage, no reusability. No reusability. Okay, so this is the disadvantage here, and this one is the advantage here. Advantage. Okay, so this is about programming approaches. Now till here, once again I'm giving overview. Please listen. So programming approach. Approach means style. Programming approach means style of writing program. How many styles are there? 4 styles are there. Sequential style means we write sequentially. Procedure oriented style means we write program in the form of functions. Okay. Object based means we write program in the form of classes. In the class we define properties, methods. Object oriented, same. We define class. In the class we define properties, methods. Okay, but here we can establish relationship between the uh, classes. In the object oriented, in the object based we cannot establish relationship between the classes. So object based does not support to inheritance and polymorphism. So simply you can say that object oriented means object based plus inheritance plus polymorphism. Inheritance plus polymorphism. Polymorphism. So object based plus inheritance plus polymorphism is called object oriented. Object based means what? Encapsulation and abstraction. So encapsulation and abstraction is called object based. Combination of encapsulation and abstraction is called object based. Object oriented means object based plus inheritance plus polymorphism. So object oriented programming language supports 4 concepts: encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. Object based supports only 2 concepts: encapsulation, abstraction. So for the object based, drawbacks are it does not provide, it provides security. Advantage, does not provide reusability because it does not support inheritance. The advantage with the object oriented is provides security as well as provides reusability. Okay, so for the object oriented, examples are C++, Java, Python, C#. For object based, examples are VB. Okay, for the procedure oriented, example language is C language. For the sequential approach, example languages are starting versions of COBOL, Fortran. So this is about programming approach. Okay, so did you understand? Did you understand about programming approaches? Please, all of you give the response in the chat box. Give the response. Did you understand about programming approaches? Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now see here. So in this, you I used some terms like encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Then what is this encapsulation? What is this abstraction? What is this inheritance? And what is polymorphism? Okay. So that part I talk in the next session. Okay. The topic name is OOPS concepts. So next topic name is what? OOPS concepts. So just this is the general class. Okay. So as a programmer, now we are learning programming means we are the programmers. So as a programmer, we have to know all these styles. What are the styles are there? Previously, which styles were there? Currently, which styles we are using? As a programmer, we have to know. So that's why I explained these programming approaches. So in the next session, I explain about OOPS concepts. OOPS concepts, object oriented programming system concepts. In the second sem already you learned it. Okay, so once again I will explain because these are useful. Without knowing C++, you cannot learn the data structures. So that's why once again I will explain these OOPS concepts and how can we define the class, how can we create the object. These parts I will explain later. I start our syllabus. Okay, so tomorrow in tomorrow's session I explain about OOPS concepts. Now I'm stopping the session here. Okay, so no, sir. You can leave the session, no problem. I'm stopping the session now. Okay, I'm stopping the session. Okay, thanks to all. Meet you tomorrow. Okay, thanks to all. I'm stopping the session.